Okay, so picture this. You're standing on a dramatic coast, the Indian Ocean just relentlessly pounding against this black volcanic headland. And out in the waves, completely cut off by the tide, sits this magnificent, ancient Hindu temple. It's just bathed in this incredible golden light.
That image is Tanah Lot. It's probably the single most recognizable icon of Bali, and it is so much more than just a pretty sunset spot.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really the embodiment of Balinese spiritual history and geological drama all rolled into one.
It is, and today we're doing a deep dive into the sources our listeners sent over. They wanted the full picture, the powerful mythology behind the sea temple, but also the practical stuff you need to know to actually visit.
Right, like how to get that perfect view without getting lost in the crowds.
Exactly.
And we have a great stack of material to work with. We're pulling from ancient mythological texts that detail its almost magical origin story. We've got very specific visitor guides fees, tide schedules, all that.
We also have the 2025 Balinese cultural calendar, which is super helpful for pinpointing major events. And I think this is crucial, a fantastic comparison that puts Tanah Lot right up against its famous rival, Uluwatu.
So our mission here is to connect those 16th century miracles to the 21st century reality of visiting. We're going to unpack why it's called a land in the sea, reveal a pretty surprising truth about its structure, and give you the cultural context, the spiritual rhythm of the place.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. The origin. We're talking about Pura Tanah Lot. The name itself is, well, it's pretty descriptive.
It literally means land in the sea, and the temple is dedicated to Dewa Baruna, or Bada Sagara, who is the god of the seas in the Balinese Hindu faith.
And it's not just a standalone temple, is it? It's part of a larger network.
That's right. It's one of 7 interconnected sea temples all along the coast of Bali, kind of forming this spiritual chain to protect the island. But Tanah Lot's specific history is really tied to one person, Denghyang Niratha.
The great priest, Dwijendra.
The very same. A revered Hindu sage who came to Bali from Java in the 15th or 16th century, and he was really leading the spread of Hinduism across the island.
So Niratha arrives, he's traveling around teaching, and he's drawn by this powerful spiritual light to this big rock formation in Baraban village.
And that is exactly where the trouble started. When Niratha settled on that rock to meditate, the local village chief, a man named Bendiza Baraban Sakti, was a follower of monotheism.
So he wasn't a fan of the new Hindu philosophy.
Not at all. He was strongly opposed and demanded that Niratha leave his village immediately.
A real standoff. But instead of a fight, Niratha performs a miracle.
A huge one. The sources say he used his spiritual power to literally move the entire rock formation further out into the ocean.
He just picks it up and moves it.
That's the legend. He separates it from the mainland, creating the unique offshore location the temple has today. An amazing way to win an argument.
I'll see.
So after he relocated his meditation spot, he needed to protect it. He then took his own sash and transformed it into a venomous sea snake.
Wow.
And the story goes that its descendants, these sacred snakes, still live in the sea caves below the rock, guarding the temple from evil spirits and intruders.
And what happened to the local leader, Bendiza Baraban Sakti?
Well, after seeing that raw, undeniable power, he converted to Hinduism. Niratha accepted him and gave him a powerful artifact, a kris.
Which is more than just a dagger, right? It's a sacred object.
It holds immense spiritual significance. And this particular kris was believed to have the power to stop diseases that attack plants, ensuring abundant harvests for the villagers. It really cemented that link between the temple and the region's prosperity.
That's an incredible story, but what's really fascinating is how that ancient myth meets modern reality. You mentioned the temple's preservation.
Right, and this is the modern twist.
Yeah.
The rock is made of a pretty soft sedimentary stone, so it's battered by the ocean for centuries. By the 1980s, the erosion was so bad the whole thing was in danger of collapsing.
It was becoming unstable.
Critically unstable. So to save this treasure, a massive reconstruction project was launched. It was funded in large part by a huge loan from the Japanese government.
So what did they do?
Over about 16 years, from 1987 to 2003, they stabilized it. And the scale of the engineering is just staggering. Our sources confirm that more than a third of the rock you see today isn't natural. It's been replaced or reinforced with expertly disguised artificial stone.
No way. More than a third.
More than a third. It's one of the most incredible feats of cultural preservation in the world.
That is just mind-blowing. The land in the sea is now partly an engineered island. So that brings us to the practical side of things. If you're planning a trip, what's the first thing you need to know?
The absolute core restriction. Tanah Lot is a living, breathing temple. The interior, the structure on top of the rock, is strictly for Balinese Hindu worshippers only.
So as a tourist, you can't go inside the temple itself.
Correct. You could explore all around the grounds, the markets, and you can walk to the base of the rock at low tide, but that's as far as you can go.
Which means the whole place feels more like a beautiful coastal park with a monument at its center. It's open every day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yep, and the entrance fee for foreign adults is currently 75,000 rupiah. And this is important. You have to buy tickets on location. There's no online booking, so expect queues, especially near sunset.
And the single most important planning tool for your visit has to be the tide schedule.
Oh, absolutely. High tide versus low tide is a completely different experience.
So at low tide?
Low tide is when you can walk across the sand right up to the base of the temple. That's where you can get a blessing with holy water from the priests.
And high tide is when you get that iconic floating temple photo.
Exactly. The water surrounds it completely, creating that magical silhouette everyone wants to see.
And here's a little logistical quirk. Because tourists don't go into the inner temple, the usual strict dress code, the sarong and sash, isn't formally required.
True, but we'd still strongly advise dressing respectfully. You're on sacred grounds. So, cover your shoulders and knees, don't show up in your swimwear.
Now, let's talk about the sunset paradox. It's the best time to be there, but it's also the busiest.
Overwhelmingly the busiest. If you show up at 5:30, you're going to be shoulder to shoulder with hundreds of people.
So the tip is to get there early.
Get there by 4:00 p.m. That gives you time to wander, find a good spot, and just relax. Sunset Corner is a great spot. Or take a short walk over to the nearby Batu Bolong Temple.
But if you want to avoid crowds altogether,
then you have to sacrifice sunset. Go midday between noon and 3 p.m. It'll be hot, but you might just have the place almost to yourself.
Okay, so beyond the daily logistics, let's get into the cultural calendar. This is where you see the true importance of the site for the Balinese. It's all based on the Pawukan calendar, right?
That's right, a 210-day cycle that dictates almost everything. This means temple anniversaries, or Pujawali, happen much more frequently than our annual holidays.
And the main ceremony for Tanah Lot Temple has a specific date in that cycle.
It does. It's held on Wednesday, wage length year. For anyone planning a trip, the next one in 2025 is scheduled for December 3rd through the 6th. Visiting then would be an incredible experience.
And it's not just the sacred ceremonies. There are big public festivals too, like the Tanah Lot Art and Food Festival.
Yeah, that's scheduled for August 22nd to the 24th in 2025. It's a huge event celebrating local culture, crafts, music, and of course, incredible Balinese food like lawar and Saint Lilith.
The highlight of that festival, from what I've read, is the Gabogan Parade.
It's visually stunning. A procession of women carrying these powering offerings of fruit and flowers on their heads right at sunset.
And if you miss the festival, there's still a daily cultural show.
The Kikak dance.
Yeah.
The monkey chant dance. It's performed every evening at the cultural park from 6 to 7 p.m.
Tickets are about 100,000 rupiah. It tells a story from the Ramayana. It's a really great way to add another layer to the whole sunset experience.
And we can't really talk about this place without mentioning the myths that are still so alive today.
I love these. My favorite is the couples end quickly curse.